Hi, my name is Avin Bonifacio and I'll talk about the Greeks and the Romans for my exploratory presentation. We're gonna start with Greeks' achievements. And this period is during the classical period. In between wars with the Persians and their own kind of Peloponnesian, the Greeks remained in developing many accomplishments. Greeks invented drama and reached their artistic zenith in architecture. In Athens, the city flourished and the Acropolis was built, which brought prosperity to the city. The polis sponsored plays as part of the city's religious festivals and required wealthy citizens to pay the expenses of their production. Like most people of the ancient world, most people believed in gods, in many gods. Some of gods were Zeus, Hera, Ares, Apollo, and Athena, and some other few, which are very familiar today. This period also saw the rise of philosophy, and these are Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, and which began a broad examination of the universe and the place of humans in it. Continuation on Greek's achievements. Another period in the ancient Greek was the Hellenistic period. The man behind this was Alexander the Great. During this period, Alexander the Great conquered the entire Persian Empire, and along with many territories in the east of Persia. Alexander the Great also discovered new cities in which Greek and local populations mixed, and the spread of Greek culture continued to rise, blending with other peoples. And because of this, Greek became the common language, and it made learning and business easier for this era. Due to the mixed people, Hellenistic era influenced many things: religion, philosophy, and science. The Hellenistic kings built temples to the old Olympian gods and established cults, like those in earlier Greek cities. But because many people found this spiritually unsatisfying, they turned instead to mystery religions. These religions, which blended Greek and non-Greek elements, followers gained secret knowledge and into initiation rituals and were promised eternal life. Others turned to practical philosophies instead of religion, and these provided advices on how to live a good life. In the scholarly realm, advances were made in mathematics, astronomy, and mechanical design. The greatest thinker of the Hellenistic period was Archimedes, who devised a new artillery for military purposes and created a screw to draw water from a lower to a higher level, among other inventions. Also, during this period, physicians used observation and dissection to better understand the way the human body works and to develop treatments for disease. Next, Rome's achievements. During the Pax Romana, this period, Rome entered a political stability, prosperity, and relative peace. In this period, the city of Rome became the magnificent capital of the empire, increasingly adorned with beautiful buildings and structure, and improved urban housing, and harboring a well-fed populace. The city of Rome also provided entertainment by having gladiatorial games and chariot racing. The Roman provinces and frontiers also saw extensive prosperities through the growth of agriculture, trade, and industry with the Parthians and Chinese. Another Romans achievement that the Romans took the manufacture of pottery to an advanced stage by introducing a wider range of vessels and by making some in the industrial scale kilns that were large enough to fire tens of thousand pots at once. The continuation of Rome's achievement is Christianity. Christianity was brought into the Roman Empire uh, because of Jesus. From a Jewish sect, Jesus transformed Christianity into a religion throughout the Roman Empire. And then Christianity modified its teaching to make them more acceptable to wealthy and educated Romans. Another thing is that Constantine legalized the practice of religion through the empire, and he himself converted to Christianity. The similarities and differences of Greece and Rome. They have many similarities and differences. First of all, the location. Both the civilizations are located in the Mediterranean, and both have different terrain, though located in the Mediterranean region. All Greek cities were nearby water bodies, while Rome was an inland city on the banks of a river. Based on geographical positioning, Rome had immigrants and invaders, which the Greek did not, as most Greek cities were separated. Commerce and trade. Rome took in the ideas of the Greek way of life, but there were still major differences. Because of their nearby location, they mostly interacted through trade and businesses. Art. Both practiced arts. Roman art was to decorate using realistic portraits, while the Greek art was to produce ideal artistic forms. Romans had concrete to build better building, unlike the Greeks. Their architecture was characterized by arches and domes, which Greeks didn't use. The Roman and Greek temples were almost identical, but the Roman incorporated few details like domes and vaults to make them more aesthetic. The religion. Both Greek and Roman practiced polytheist religion. The Greeks focused on life on earth and believed man would be judged on earth and his deeds, both good and bad, would follow him into afterlife, while the Romans believed the one's actions improper and many would make one God in heaven. The Roman gods and goddesses were not characterized by action, therefore not gender specific, unlike the Greek deities. What makes a great civilization? Make a great civilization like Rome and Greece had land and its people, rulers or rules. From then on, developed the cultural development. Civilization is a developed society with organized structured way of living. A great civilization starts with its geographical location or land. Without land or a place to live, a civilization will not exist. This land will provide natural resources and a means of living. Secondly, civilization requires people that will shape their land and live from its resource. In a civilized society, a ruler or rules are followed to enforce a law. When land, people, and rules are established, a culture is developed, forming a civilization. 21st century. In the ancient Olympics games, only Greek descent were allowed to participate and only men were allowed to play. In the 21st century, there is no gender preference in the sports. Women, slaves, children, and resident aliens did not have citizenship and could not vote to the ancient democracy. Today's modern democracy, people or any adults were allowed to vote. The technology advancement. Rome never left the Iron Age, where in America today uh, is full of industrial age, information of age, and biotech age. Lastly, ancient Rome and Greek were limited to observation in science and medicine, while in the 21st century it is far more advanced.